Alright guys, what's going on? Got the 8th war of the season, skipped 1 through 7, but this one seemed pretty important, so I wanted to go ahead and upload it. This is going to be For Loki versus New Nation. At this point in the season, For Loki was first in Masters, we'd gone 7-0, and New Nation was third in Masters, they'd gone 6-1. But had more deaths on the season than GT40, who was in second and had also gone 6-1. So yeah, this was a war that we went into. We wanted to do really well. We've been averaging 6 to 7 deaths per war. From what I've seen of like the New Nation war videos that get posted, they've been doing about the same. So we kind of knew that it was going to be a pretty even matchup. So let's just see how this shakes out. So path 2 in section 1 here, my first fight is going to be a Craven. Craven, I think on paper he's a scarier defender than he actually is when you fight him. So he has this ability where like every time you parry him, he reduces the duration by 10% up to 80%. So I have a guidance on here, but you're gonna see that I actually didn't need it. I would have been fine without. So fight goes down super quick. No big deal at all. Next fight here, I'm going to be fighting the champion. He does benefit from the global, but he's just not a super tricky defender, especially on this node. So I think that if his unstoppable interacted a little bit different with like heavies and special attacks, he might be a little bit better on this particular node. But the way it stands right now, if you're doing a heavy or special and he gains his unstoppable, you still land all of it. He doesn't go kind of like invulnerable like other unstoppable champions do. So no real issue there. And then this next fight here, this is going to be Man-Thing on node 20. Everyone places Man-Thing on node 20. It is a very straightforward fight once you kind of figure out who the counters are. And the counter, the best counter in my opinion is Omega Red. Thing can do this fight, Diablo can do this fight. I know Mr. Negative can do this fight, if you know what you're doing. But yeah, so I always use a Power Start 1, and basically just don't hit him until I have to. So once I get my spores built up and lock in my degen, I don't touch him again until the degen is falling off. So you can see it's about 30 seconds, a little less than 30 seconds of actual fight time. So no big deal there. And my next fight here, I'm actually removing dexterity for. It's going to be a Kingpin on node 22. This used to be like a pretty meta placement, and honestly I never really like fully understood why, because so many champions can take this fight. I know that he benefits from the global though, so maybe that's why. Maybe he's like a little bit trickier here now, but this global also isn't too crazy. So here, just same strategy as Man-Thing. I'm not going to touch him when he has the degen on. And yeah, I also forgot to throw on an invulnerability boost for this fight. Even though I know I didn't really need it, I still wanted to use one, but I kind of forgot. So, but I do have a Power Start 1 on, and with Omega Red, a Power Start 1 can actually be used as a stand-in for an invulnerability boost a lot. Because if you get to your special 3 before they do, you can power drain them with your special 3. And I did throw this because I wanted to heal up for my next fight. So yeah, fight went down super easy. We're going to be moving up now to node 24. There's a Nick Fury here. This is a fight that I've taken before. A lot of people will take this with like Apocalypse or someone else, and they'll throw, or like Archangel, and they'll throw on like an Odin pre-fight. I just try to avoid using dexterity. So this is this has Bubble Shield, which I think is one of the big reasons that Nick Fury's here, because when he goes into his second life, you kind of need to block a lot. But Bubble Shield can be worked around, and right there, what I like to do a lot to get around, like, Bubble Shield in this case, but just to save myself block damage in general, you can do 4 hits into the opponent and immediately block. And if you do that, a lot of times they'll throw their heavy before they start block hitting you. So right here, I'm gonna do 4 hits into the block. I meant to block myself, and you can see that there are red numbers. I have an indestructible boost on, and for some reason I'm taking auxiliary damage on this, like on that combo. I have no clue why. It's not bleed. I have no idea why he would be doing that, but he is. So it was about 10,000 health that I lost because of that, plus the combo that I took. So have to heal up a little bit, but that's fine. That's what potions are for. Moving on here, I'm going to be on path 1 in section 2. This is going to be a Killmonger. I don't know why he's here specifically. I think that he used to be put on like buffet and stuff like that when Void was kind of the meta, but that was a long time ago. And I think Void can actually still take him, so I'm not entirely sure why. He's also like a Quake deterrent, but Quake was banned for this war, so either way. Moving on, this is going to be Gladiator Hulk on buffet. He's a metal champion. I have Magneto for it. Gladiator Hulk can't be taken by Omega Red because Omega Red's like death spores and stuff like that. Triggers face me, so Gulk takes like no damage from it, or like 70% reduced damage from it. So here, I'm just going to parry heavy. It's just going to be a normal Magneto fight, pretty straightforward and boring. So this global, the unstoppable can't be reduced through ability accuracy reduction, right? So if every time they get an armor, they have a chance to go unstoppable. But ability accuracy reduction can still prevent the armor from triggering in the first place, and without the armor, there's no unstoppable. So, yeah, pretty like strange interaction. Like Quake can work for it still, but sometimes like if you don't have a concussion on them, they'll still gain an armor, still go unstoppable. So, yeah. Either way, that fight goes down super easily. This next fight here is actually a fight that I've taken a few times before, and I think the first time I did this, Clown, who's another planner in my alliance, he suggested this for a mini boss, and I thought he was kidding, but I wasn't sure who else to use for that particular mini boss, so I just went with the strategy, and it worked, which was awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it here. There's like less attack and health here than there is on a mini boss. I think this is like my fourth time doing this season. Either way, Omega can just stand in the corner and dex over and over again, just avoid the heavy attack, and I mean that's it. That's the entire fight. So my Omega's taking off around 3,000 health per second, which isn't too bad. It's a little bit slow, but still faster than Quake, I think. I could be wrong about that, but either way, fight is almost over here. He's being pretty aggressive, which is nice. I've fought a Black Panther before who like wouldn't come anywhere near Omega, and it took forever to get him down. But either way, that one goes down pretty quickly, pretty cooperative. And then next up here, we're going to be moving up to Immortal Abomination on Conflictor. I think that Conflictor is one of the harder mini boss nodes now. And with Immortal Abomination, He self-inflicts poisons, which he can shrug off. But against Omega Red, once you have 10 spores up, he's not shrugging anything anymore. So, and then also this node has like something like combat deja vu. Basically, you don't want to use the same basic attack twice in a row. If you do, they're going to gain like block penetration, which isn't a huge deal. So I'm just going to play it like I play Mixmaster, medium light, heavy. And this fight should actually go down here in the next couple seconds. And yeah, so no big deal there. And then my last fight of the war, my 10th fight, is going to be this Thor Ragnarok. The strategy here is to just kill him before you hit him 20 times. So, yeah, and I've done this before too when Omega was rank 3. I am going to make one mistake in this fight though, right here. I'm going to parry, or I'm going to get parried because I intercept him. But it's not a big deal. That's why we run limber, I guess. So, yeah, fight's almost over. We're about 20 seconds in. It's over halfway down, and he's just melting. So, yeah, one more heavy attack, that should do it. And that is the end of my war. 10 fights. I did not mean to assign myself 10 fights. It's just kind of the way that the map worked out. I'm going to go ahead and check the score here. At this point in the war, we were at 3 deaths, and we had 115 attacker kills. They had 70 and no deaths. And this is a meme that Clown made for PR. He took over PR for Taters, and he doesn't make cards, he makes memes, which I really like. But anyway, we ended up dying one more time after that screenshot. So we finished with 4 deaths. That's good for us. It's not our best war of the season by any means, but it is one of the best wars we've had this season. And NewN died 0 times, so, and they also shaved a lot of their normal fight duration time off. So yeah, For Loki played well. I think going into this war, we had 1 fewer deaths on the season than they did. So we kind of figured that, like, you know, if we tied or something, like, we would still be ahead of them, but they pulled off the best war of their season, as they normally do against For Loki. It's some sort of weird, I don't know if it's like a curse or what, but it's pretty strange. Strange is the wrong word. It's a little bit annoying. So because I think that they've been averaging this season about the same number of deaths as us every war. So either way, we are still in the top 3. I think we're 3rd right now. All 3 of the top alliances are 6-1. And if we can keep up this kind of performance, shaving deaths off of our average and just cleaning things up a little bit, I think that we can probably stay here. Fingers crossed. So either way, I do have some other wars that I really wanted to upload this season. I've had a couple, like, I mean, to me, they were pretty interesting or like entertaining fights that I wanted to show you guys. A couple of mistakes that I've made. But I just haven't had time. Like with Taters being gone, me planning wars 3 days a week, it's pretty much just eating up all of the extra time that I had to try to make videos before. But either way, I'm going to do my best to get something more out, especially as the season winds down and the wars become a little bit more high stakes. So yeah, either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.